Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and I am so happy you stopped by today. If you're returning, welcome back and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. So today I am participating in a challenge that is pumpkin themed. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So I started off with some of these headbands I got from Dollar Tree, this pumpkin from Dollar Tree, and my Waverly chalk paint in the color celery. Now I painted, well, first I take off that little stem, it pulls right off, and then I painted it with that celery color, and then I realized this isn't really what I wanted for the color, so I took my Peacock color and I painted over that. And there it is. And then once it was all dry, I added that stem back on. And then I'm going to take these headbands, and I'm just taking, they come 3 to a set, but I'm taking the ones that kind of look like flowers, I guess. And I'm just going to trim the elastic off of them. And then I fold it in half and I cut it in half. And I end up using, I think I bought 4 sets, and I think I used like 3.5 sets, or 3 sets, something like that. I don't think, maybe I used them all. I don't remember, but I just hot glue them to the top and the bottom of the pumpkin, and I skip each little indentation. So I go like every other dent there is on that pumpkin is where I lay the hair pieces, headbands, whatever they're called. And here I'm just counting, just kind of making sure that that's going to work out. So you'll see that there'll be one little indent in between all of them. Once those were all on, I decided I wanted some leaves on there on the top, but these leaves just, I didn't like the colors with it. So I'm just using some double-sided tape, and I'm going to tape this down to that piece of burlap, and I am just trimming around that leaf. And I will make 2 of these leaves, and I will attach them to the top of my pumpkin using hot glue. If you are new here, welcome again. I am so glad you are here. If you like home decor on a budget, holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, an occasional Dollar Tree haul, then I would hope you would subscribe to my channel, become part of our family, and hit that notification bell so it will let you know whenever I have a new video, which is usually on Wednesdays. Unless I'm participating in a challenge, then it might be on a different day. So here you'll see I'm just hot gluing these leaves on, and once I have those on, I decided I wanted a bow. So I took this ribbon. I got this from, I believe, Walmart right around Christmas time last year. And I just make like that awareness ribbon, and I scrunch it in the middle, and I'm using a twist tie to tie around that to keep it secure. Then I'm going to take some of that lace ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to do the same thing. And then I'm just going to add it to that blue bow and attach them with that twist tie. And now I have a double bow. Then I'm going to trim it. I know I make this bow all the time, you guys. I need to venture out and practice more bows. Maybe one of these days. Hey, make sure you're following me on Facebook and Instagram at Rustic and Lace DIY. So once I get the tails all dovetailed and trimmed, I hot glue that right there to the middle, and then I take one of those wood leaves that I got from Hobby Lobby in a big pack of leaves, and I hot glued it to the middle, and there it is. And I think it came out looking really cute. It's going to be in my bedroom with that's my fall colors this year, and I really love the way it came out. Today's collaboration is being hosted by Ellie at DIY From House to Home. She is an amazing crafter. Make sure you check out her channel as well as all the rest of these wonderful ladies and the playlist, and see what everybody created for you today. So here's DIY number 2. Now this DIY didn't go exactly as I expected. I used these window clings from Dollar Tree as well as this sign. I originally wanted to do my hippo water slide decals. If you haven't seen my video on that, I will link that in the description box, but they're amazing decals. But unfortunately, I don't think I sprayed it enough with my sealant, and when I tried to use it, the ink was running and it didn't work out. So I looked up and saw these window clings and thought, oh, okay, I'll just try this instead. So I start off by sanding off all the glitter from this sign. That way I don't have glitter getting into my paint when I paint the back. So once that was all done, I used my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster, and I give that back side a good coat of paint. Then once it was all dry, I took my Mod Podge and I am just going to put a good thick layer all over the back side of that. Number one, it protects the paint, but number two, it's to help those window clings stick, because they're not going to stick on that wood. They only stick on glass. So while it was still wet, I started laying down those window clings. And all of these window clings come from the same set of window clings. So the Dollar Tree this year has some really awesome window clings. There was like 4 or 5 sets that I bought that they were just so cute. Every time I look at one, I'm like, oh, that's so cute, and I'd have to get it. So once I have these all on there, I'm going to put another layer of Mod Podge over the top of them just to seal in those window clings so that they don't try peeling off at all. Plus it also makes it easier to wipe down because this will be in my kitchen. So here you'll see I'm just going to use my Mod Podge all over the top of those. Okay, and then once that was done, I took my Arteza paint markers, and it was, I think, bright orange is the color, I believe, and I'm just making little stitch marks all around the sign. You can see I did it at the top, I did it at the bottom, and I liked it so much I decided to go ahead and do it around the sides as well. And you can do this if you want to recreate it or not. It's all up to you. Make it your own. So once that was all done, I felt like it still needed something. So I took some of this orange gingham ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree this summer, and I just making just a simple shoelace bow, just tying it like you would when you tie your shoes. And then I just dovetail the ends, and then I'm going to hot glue each one on each side of that picture. And once that was done, I do go in and add a little pumpkin and leaf from the from Hobby Lobby that I have as well. And I add some more of that ribbon as a hanger to the back of that sign. And if you decide to create this yourself, you can always cover the back with, some foiled paper or some shipping paper or whatever to cover that. And there it is. You'll have to let me know what you think of this. I was wanting to do a pumpkin spice recipe. I'm really bummed that it didn't work out the way I wanted it, but I think it still looks pretty cute. Here's DIY number 3. Now this one I've been wanting to do for a while. And when I knew I was doing this pumpkin challenge, I thought I would wait for this. So I've got this steel strapping stuff from Lowe's. I'll put a link to it in my description box, and as well as this spray paint that's called Vintage Teal, and I just think it's beautiful. So I start out by unraveling this piece of steel. It's thin steel, guys. And I think I measure it to be about 17 inches, and then I cut it, and then I realized it'd be easier to count how many holes instead of trying to measure it along the measuring lines on my mat here. So I just cut out, I think there were 22 holes, and then I just cut them after that, and I think I cut out 10 strips, and then I took them out and spray painted them. And once they were dry, I'm just taking these strips and I am bending them, but I think it might have been easier to start out with them being flat because it was a little cumbersome trying to add them onto my screw. And I do have, what, 2 screws and 2 nuts that hold these together. So you will need that as well. Okay, so you can see there I am just layering each strip onto that screw, and I'm kind of positioning them, but that wasn't necessary because even once you have it tightened, you can still kind of move them around. So once I have them all on that screw, I'm just going to use my nut and tighten it onto the screw to hold them all in place. And just as I finish doing that, my husband comes in and tells me I did it upside down, which it worked. I got it to work, but apparently I did it upside down. I think I did take it apart and redo it, but I don't remember. So then once that was all on, I took the screw there and I'm just layering them all into the screw. And um, he was probably right. I probably should have done this the other way, because as I'm looking at this, it probably would have been easier to have the screw pointing up to place those all on, but it works. Hey, if you'd like to support me by buying me a coffee or some craft supplies, that would be wonderful. My link will be in my link tree for that. But if you would rather just support me by watching my videos, commenting, liking, sharing my videos, I would love that as well. So here I'm just taking an empty ribbon spool and some super glue, and I'm just spraying it with my accelerant, and I am laying that right on top of there. And then I went out and I spray painted it again so that bottom piece would be matching. And then I took this ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, this lace ribbon that I absolutely love, and I am just weaving it inside and out of these holes. Now, this pumpkin, this idea I got from Pinterest, and I will try and link that in my description box as well. But it was just spray painted with a like a copper color, and it was really pretty, but it was a little too industrial for my taste, so I wanted to soften it up. So that's why I decided to color this with this teal color and then soften that with the lace. So you have to let me know what you think of it. If you like the lace, if you don't like the lace, if you like the pumpkin or don't like the pumpkin, that's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. I love to hear your opinions. So once I was done with that strand of ribbon, I just trimmed it off and I just put a little dab of hot glue there and glued that in place. And then I just add the next strap of ribbon and just continued weaving. And then when I was all done, I hot glued the ends to the middle of that ribbon spool. Then I'm going to take some more of that ribbon and I'm going to wrap it and glue it to the middle of that spool just to cover those ends. And as you can see, I did put I hot glued a stick that I got off of Amazon. Yes, I got sticks off the Amazon. That just sounds so weird to me. I lived most of my life in the Northwest where you could just go right outside and pick up branches or sticks, but no, I did order this off of Amazon. You can get the link in my description box if you want to be crazy like me too. And then once I had that all hot glued, I realized, wait a minute, I need something to put my candle on. So I took another ribbon spool and I painted it with my peacock color, and I just wrapped the bottom part with that lace as well. And then I'm going to hot glue it right into the middle there so that I have a place for my candle to sit on. Plus it covers up that screw and the bottom pieces of those strips. Then I took these leaves that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am just going to hot glue them around the top area for a couple of reasons, for decoration, but it also covers up where the screw is and all of that stuff as well. And then I added this little bow that I made from that same lace ribbon, and I do actually add some sunflowers there as well, as you can see. And you have to let me know what you think of this. Is this something you like? Is it something you think is stupid or ugly? I'd love to know. So here is the last DIY. I used this Thankful and Blessed pumpkin sign from Dollar Tree, my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster, and these Sola wood flowers. So I start off by taking off the hanger, taking off that metal leaf and the bow, and then just giving it a good sanding to get that glitter off the front. And then I will paint the back with that chalk paint. Now, I don't know if you've ever used the solo wood flowers. If you haven't, oh my goodness, you're missing out because I love those flowers. They are beautiful. You can get them raw and dye them yourselves, or you can get the colored ones. I usually get the colored ones. I will have a link in my link tree if you would like to buy some. I do get a small commission if you do buy them through my link, so that would be awesome. But if you haven't tried them out, I encourage you to try them because I love them. They are beautiful. I know there's a lot of crafters on YouTube that love to use them as well. So here I am just layering these flowers all across my sign and just kind of alternating the colors. And then once I have them all hot glued, I realized that I was going to do some shadowing with my wax, and I forgot to do that before I added my flowers. So I went ahead and took this little chippy brush I got from Plaid online, and I'm just brushing on some of that antique wax, and then I'm going to use a baby wipe to just kind of wipe off the excess and smear it just so that it kind of gives a faint shadowing effect. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I love bright colors, but for some reason I just felt like I wanted something a little more neutral tones. So that's why I went with the white pumpkin, and then just the soft brown colors along the edge. And I just love the way this came out. I think it looks just beautiful, and I plan on putting it in my room because I have those colors in my room. So then I took my brush and I am just putting on that wax along the stem. And what I loved about this, I'm putting a pretty thick layer, but the bristles on that brush make it look like wood, like streaks in wood. I don't know. I just loved it. I thought it was beautiful. Then I used this same thing, the wax and my brush, on one of these wood signs that I got from Dollar Tree. It comes in like a 6 or an 8 pack of words. And I'm just using the word that says blessed, and I'm just covering it with my wax. And then I'm going to hot glue it right on above those flowers, just like that. Now it looks beautiful just like that. I do end up putting a bow on here, but honestly, you could leave it at that and it is just as stunning, maybe even more stunning than with the bow. But I do make a bow. I took some black gingham ribbon and some more of that blue ribbon I got from Walmart, and I hot glue a little leaf from my Hobby Lobby stash, and I'm just going to glue that right there on under the stem, and then I add those twine hangers that it came with, and there it is. Let me know what you think about it. I love it. I love the flowers, the colors. They're soft, and I just think it's beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you're new, I hope you hit that subscribe button and become part of our family. Make sure you hit the notification bell, and all of you guys, make sure you give me that thumbs up and a comment. That really helps my channel grow, and it lets YouTube know that my content is liked. And I will be back on Friday with a new video, so make sure you have those notification bells set. And with all that being said, you guys have a blessed week, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.